All right, everyone. Welcome to the Victory Post podcast. And today we have Donita with us. We've been friends for quite a while, but honestly, I don't really know her, so I I really called her on here to talk about her life because her life is very interesting. And for those watching, I'm 100% sure you're gonna be entertained and you're gonna be inspired by her story. So, Donita, I want to thank you very much for coming on my podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate you. This is
Yep,
fun.
yep. So before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about my bodybuilding show coming on, which is coming on in November 11th, here in Tucson, Arizona. And I just found the venue, so I'm very much excited about that. And it's gonna be amazing. I have a lot of people in the NANBF world helping me out, including Donita. She really helped me out with some of the logo design. So thank you again for that. So yeah, so this is gonna be interesting. My first ever show. So I hope it goes well. I'm working very hard on this one. So everyone, please support this show and take a vacation or two. Come to Arizona, Tucson, and enjoy the show and enjoy Arizona as well. So that's it for me. I will see you very soon, and thank you all. So, Donita, thank you again for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. I appreciate I like doing podcasts. They're fun.
Oh, yeah, they
I'm
are fun.
not very experienced with them. I think I've done probably four,
Four?
maybe. So yeah, I'm getting better at them.
Nice,
Four,
nice.
so I appreciate you thinking of me for this.
Yep, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, Donita, before we start, would you please introduce yourself? Just briefly introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Donita Knaus. I'm from Kimball, Minnesota. I'm an IPE pro women's bodybuilder, and I run a business here in Kimball. Run a gym. I own two different locations. The gyms are about 10 minutes apart from towns that I grew up in, and I've kind of introduced the bodybuilding world to these little towns over the past. I've owned this business for over 6 years now.
Nice,
Hmm.
nice. Thanks for that introduction. So now let's just get into it. So was there a time in your career when you felt like, you know what, I just think this isn't going anywhere, and I just want to give up? Was there a time?
Yeah, yeah, right from the beginning.
Okay.
So I think when I first got into opening gyms, it was pretty clear that I wasn't going to make a living off of gym memberships. People quit all the time, and I just felt like I didn't want to be one of those another franchises, and I wanted to be more, and I wanted to be different. And I learned very quickly that it was me. I needed to walk the talk. I needed to live the lifestyle that I was preaching about, and so I got into bodybuilding kind of by a fluke. It was something I was always interested in. People approached me about it because of a genetic shape I had for it.
Hmm.
But I am 51 years old, and when people approached me, that was when I was in my 20s, and that was a long time ago, and there was a lot of steroids, and I didn't hear of things of natural bodybuilding and that sort of thing. So when I got into this industry, finally coming back to it, or full circle, I used to own salons and things like that, and then I went to a bodybuilding show, and as I sat there and watched a couple of clients on stage, it was really apparent, and became just a euphoric moment of that this is what I needed in my life, and that me sitting in those seats is not where I belonged, and I really felt like I belonged on that stage, and I also felt like my genetic shape had a purpose and a gift, and I knew that that sport was calling me. Plus, I had been an athlete most of my life, and as I got older, I kind of pushed it aside to provide and have a kids and career and all the jazz. But my happy place belonged in sports, and it belonged in competing, and that's where I felt like a kid again. And I didn't think about the stresses and the all the hard work that life throws at you and things like that. And so I wanted in the sport pretty badly when I first saw it, when I first really understood it. And I knew that it would take me to a new level of not just personally, but more, I should say, not just business wise, but more importantly, personally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, that I think about that show. That show was about in 2016, somewhere in there. And I went looking for a coach right away. And in 2017, that's when I met Aaron Callister and then hired a coach to take me to the stage. And I really thought that that would take me to a new level in the business. It took about 6 months to get me to my first stage show, and that was his show, the Mr. Minnesota, that's coming up
Okay.
at the end of May here. That was my first show.
Okay.
Um, and like I said, I knew it wouldn't be my last. I didn't know where I wanted to go with the sport because I was learning. But more importantly, it helped me understand how to train people and how to work with people on a whole different level. And it wiped the fog out of fad diets. And what it taught me was so incredible that I don't think I could have ever stopped
Okay.
at that
Nice.
point.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that. You did mention about Aaron Canister, and I want to talk a little bit more about that guy, because I know it's very big in the NANBF world. Helping organize shows and helping inspire the next generation. So, can you talk a little bit about him? He's your coach, so give us a little bit about Aaron Canister and what he does and why you think you still continue to go with him
Mhm.
as a coach.
Well, his experience is like no other, and
Okay.
he's been in the industry for about most of his life, 30 years. I think when I found him to take me to the stage, it was definitely his experience, and he walks the talk. He still competes, and it was all the people that he had helped in this sport and in the industry itself. And it was kind of just finding somebody with incredible expertise. And that's what I believe in for anything. I mean, you're not going to go to a heart surgeon that's, obese. So it's about anything. It's about somebody's passion, somebody's life, that they surround themselves with what they're passionate about, and it gives them purpose. And so it's really fun to find people like that are just what you're looking for and what you need. You have to find what those people have, if that's something that you want to do in your career or in your
Okay.
life. And that's what I just aspire to be now as a coach, is to give that same example and to be able to walk the talk and be very passionate about my purpose. Um, so that's pretty, to me, I didn't know who I was finding, and I didn't know if I would stick to the same coach or things like that, but the expertise is there, and the commitment to the sport that he loves is there. And so it's been really fun, and now we coach people together. So that's coaching for competing, that's a whole different ball game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can get people, I call them civilian dieters, and I call them my 6 week shredders, and I can get people to lose weight and care about themselves and learn how to lift weights and things like that. A competitor is completely different.
Yep.
We might need to play with their mind, and the gym life and lifting is you know that's all organized, and it's got its own beast as well. But it tends to be a little easier than their nutrition. And the nutrition side of it, when it comes to a civilian dieter, is pretty easy, um, because basically you can ask a person, what's the two things you consume in a week or a day, or something that that you damn well should not be eating. They can give you two things. You can wipe out those two things out of their diet and you can make changes. Now, a competitor, that's a whole different beast, and that's a whole different nutrition plan to get them to look the part and look like those other athletes on stage and compete at that level. So as far as the nutrition wise, when it comes to a competitor, that is all done by Aaron Callister, and I'm learning. I'm only 6 years into the sport, so I feel like a baby in the industry when it comes to the competing side of it. Um, but when it comes to something like the civilian dieters, or who 99% of our clients, which are just your regular people wanting to live a healthier lifestyle and be able to have a little fun here and there, that's something that I can do and do every day, and I absolutely love.
Yep, thanks. And Aaron, if you're watching this, I want to thank you very much for everything you're doing for NANBF, IPE pros, and keep up the great works. And I hope to see you soon, either at my show or whenever we all meet to discuss NANBF. So
Oh
thank you
yeah,
again.
get it on the show.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So moving forward, so as an entrepreneur, when you started, I know with every aspect of life, especially in entrepreneurship, we all need people that we look up to, right? People that we take advice from, people that we sit down with them to talk about life or about how to make our business more strong and effective. So my question to you is, who are your mentors?
Ooh. Well, that is a really good question. I think that I have a lot of them, and I
Okay.
think it would determine on all different aspects of life. Um, in this sport of bodybuilding, things like that, I love. Of course, I go old school, and I, listen to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just some people that have been around the sport forever, or taken them care of themselves forever, at whatever age they are, and is really, really important to me. Learning from them or listening to their stories are probably my, obviously I can't sit down with Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? But listening to these kind of people and their stories, and reading their books, and listening to their biography, things like that, just to learn about what makes them different and what makes them not average, really interests me, and what it takes to go above and beyond and stick to your purpose and your passion. Because as a woman, and being a mom, and things like that, I just think we get pulled away from what we really want to aspire to be, and we feel selfish, and when we're really after our own dreams and our own goals. And so I think part of my purpose is to really fight that, and really encourage women and people to believe that and know that they can have it all. They don't have to make giant sacrifices. They can find a way to balance all of that, in a sense. Not that I've been extremely good at it, because I haven't been. I'm working on it, putting myself first and things like that into my health, and is very difficult. And you can sacrifice a lot, but it is so worth it, and it is the best thing that you can do,
Okay.
to show by example to your family and friends what you want to do in life, where you want to be.
Okay. All right. Good.
And I couldn't think of any names directly. And I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger only because I was talking with a client, because he has a new film coming out on Netflix, and we were talking about that. And I said I listened to his autobiography, and one thing that stayed in my head, where I really resonated with somebody like him was that he talked about why he got into bodybuilding or the sport of taking or lifting weights and things like that. And I remember feeling the same way. He described what his body felt like after he did a leg day and he couldn't move, and the twitching of his muscles, and he couldn't walk the next day, and all these things. And he was confused on why his body was doing that. And the guys that put him through the leg day said that if he was hurting that bad, it's because they put little wounds into his muscles, and when those little wounds would heal, that he would get stronger and bigger, and that stayed in his head, and he got addicted to it. And I remember thinking the same thing as a kid, and thinking
Nice.
about those way the body. I was a massage therapist for 25 years because I loved muscles. I love how they work, and and their purpose and what they're capable of. And so I felt like people that have that like-minded, that understand something like that, or something resonates with them, to really give a shit about their body all the
Yep.
time, no matter how old they are, that just really matters to me.
Nice, nice. And again, yeah, Arnold is not everyone's, but is most people's mentor, right? People look up to him, so just because
Yeah,
of
and
what
he always had
he's done.
fun. He always had a lot of fun doing
Yeah.
what he loved.
Yep.
And like I said, there are so many, and I think about it on business sides, Grant Cardone. I think about all these other people in many aspects of my life, what I'm looking to do, or I love any psychology, anything that's dealing with people's minds, because if we can get in, then we can get their bodies to do anything.
Yep.
But
Yep.
people need people now, and they need someone they can trust and value, and care for them as much as they care for themselves.
Yeah.
And that takes a team. That takes a lot of work, and that's something I really enjoy doing.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, and hope everyone listening is learning a lot from this podcast. So I have two more questions for you.
Hmm.
On the business side of things.
Okay.
So I know you said you have two gyms, and you also a bodybuilder training all the time and all that stuff. So how do you delegate different roles or different tasks in your business?
Well, honestly, I truly believe that once you find something that doesn't feel like work, it gets a lot easier. I've owned businesses before, and it wasn't, they weren't where I belonged. And once I found where I belonged and fought to get there, to have to get it all, um, the work became irrelevant, and it became just a really good time. And so my heart is in this gym life, and helping other people. My soul belongs here. I'm my heart is happy when I'm with these people. When I get down and discouraged, or less motivated in my own training or things like that, I just got to walk out in that gym and look at the banners of the people that have done it because of me, and with me, and know their stories inside and out. And if they can do it, I can do it. And so in the beginning, it felt like it was me trying to create a community of like-minded people, so I didn't, so I wasn't alone. And now, 6 years later, I just feel like those people have taken the reins, and they're the ones helping me along through some hard times. I just can go out in that gym, and I just know that all of them are working on a positive life, and a hard, just a more confident personality and body out there, and the pictures of all of them that have done it and worked their asses off to get there. Those are, I feel like if you surround yourself with that sort of um, community and guidance, that it sure does make the day-to-day work of running business a hell of a lot easier and a lot
Yeah.
more fun.
Yep. Yep. That's true. That's true. Um, so what was your vision when you started all
Mhm.
this.
So to just not be alone in
Okay.
it, when I started bodybuilding, obviously, there's a huge community out there of people that are doing it, but I didn't know any of them, and I came from little towns, and no one was here doing it, and so I just didn't. To do that alone is hard, and I didn't want to do that alone anymore. I wanted to create and build other champions, and I won the world title in 2020, and I remember someone asking me what I wanted to do next. What was my next, competition or my next goal? And all I could think about was I got to get other people to see what this is like. I gotta get other winners out there. I gotta build champions. I want them to feel what I just felt, and that pride in yourself and all that work that you put in. And I was 48 at the time when I won that, and I remember thinking, what other goddamn 50-year-old woman can look like this? And I was like, so I want I want other women, other people, and men. I want them all to feel like age is just a number for real. Not just barking it out, saying that shit, not all talk. I want them to feel it. I want them to be able to jump up in the bed when they wake up, and they're not rolling around thinking about staying there.
Yep.
I want them to feel it all day long, and I know they can. And so that my vision is that it's one at a time and one at a time and one at a time that we're going to get people to feel that feeling. I know people can get it with the love of their family and their love of God and their love of a job and a raise and things like that. But there's nothing like when you put yourself through that discipline and that hard work, and there is nothing like it when you get on that stage and you walk off and see the pictures of yourself and realize what you just did. You blow your own damn mind,
Yep.
because it is such a positive um, goal, and it's hard work, and it's all within. And people realize when they're capable of finishing that and getting that done, they're so proud of themselves. They're already working on their next goal before they even get off that stage. It's a platform. That competing is a platform for building people up, and
Yep.
I just got started. I feel like the vision is that we're going to have busloads coming in to do this. I mean, in May at Aaron's show at Mr. Minnesota, I've got 13 hitting the stage.
Oh, nice.
um, 13 new banners will go up in this gym. 13 more people are going to be more proud of themselves and feeling good and learned a lot. And I guarantee that their future will be different because of this. And they will care about their health. They're not going to be the statistic that goes after the heart disease and the pills and the things like that. They're going to be different. So it's that's my vision, is that number is going to keep growing and keep growing year to year. And I'm going to have the biggest goddamn team, not in just Minnesota, but we're talking about in the nation.
Well, you bringing some of your athletes to my show though, so it's
Yes,
gonna spread. It's gonna
right
spread
on.
for sure. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So thanks for sharing your entrepreneurship journey and what it means to you and what keeps pushing you to succeed. So thank you very much. Now we want to shift our focus to NANBF IPE journey. Okay. So can you tell us why NANBF?
Why that federation?
Yeah. Why?
Why that? Because it's extremely honorable. It's extreme. I trust it. I value it. I believe in it. Um, they uphold. Um, I don't know how to put it, but I feel like when I'm a natural bodybuilder, I'm competing against 100% natural athletes in
Okay.
this federation. You take a lie detector, you are drug tested. I just completely believe in their ethics and their support and everything they've done to grow the natural bodybuilding industry and to maintain its integrity.
Okay.
And so I absolutely it take all my competitors to start with the NANBF. And I haven't jumped other federations or even taken any of my team to other federations because I'm just so proud and I want to give back because that's where I started. And they're the ones who taught me how to be proud of being a natural bodybuilder and being proud of being a 100% no doubt a natural bodybuilder and competitor.
Nice, nice. Thank you, thank you. And again, NANBF to me, although I've really lived in Seattle, so I was doing WNBF, and when I moved to Missouri, all I do now is NANBF because again, as you said, integrity, their ethics is
Yeah.
you can't match it. You can't match it. So, and
Well,
that's
and
why.
over the years, I've gotten to know the judges and the
Yep.
different coaches in the federations, and they work their tail off to protect this federation
Yep.
and hold it to all of its values. So that once you get to really see their hard work that they put in, like John and Becky Arnold and things like that, it makes me even more proud to represent it and bring other people into
Yeah.
this federation to understand why I'm so madly in love with it.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I've been to so many shows, OCB, USBF, but I continue to live the NANBF life because I really love it. It's a community. It's a family. It's a family. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love everything about them, and
And
that's
that's
why.
like no other. I do. I tell a lot of the athletes that I can't wait for you to get backstage. I
Yeah.
can't wait for you to experience the other people that the other athletes that are doing this. The support will be endless.
Yep.
And you won't even know these people and they got your back.
Yeah.
You don't even know these people and they're cheering you on from the seats. When I was at Worlds last year, a coach for a competitor I was going against, we were at the Clash of the Titans, and to listen to him cheer both of us on, he wasn't my coach, he was her coach, and I just loved that his cheers, and I loved the support, and I thought, there it is, that's what it is.
Yep. Yep.
We're all trying to lift each other up, whether we're going against each other or not.
Yeah. Yep.
We're
Yep.
still, yep, we're still gonna applaud.
Yep. That's so true. That's so true. So moving on. How long did it take you to earn your IPE Pro card?
When did I get it?
How long? How long did it take you?
Oh, it took me a year.
It took you a
It
year.
took me a year, and it was my 5th competition when I won
Ooh.
my pro card.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and
You came a long way.
I competed in physique and bodybuilding
Okay.
at the same time and the same days, and then it was it might have been my 4th. It was my 4th show that I
Okay.
actually
One.
pro card. It
Okay.
was 2019, and then I went and competed a year later as a pro for my first time in Aaron's show, and I won that. And then I went to Worlds and won that.
Nice. Yep. So yeah, I was there when you won Worlds, and I was very excited for you. Although by then I didn't really know you, but I was super excited for you. So
That was
yeah.
that was fun, and my goal, I should say my goal. Yes, it's a vision as well.
Yep.
But my license plate on my Camaro says World Champ. And I want that thing before I turn 60 years old. I want it to say 5-time world champ.
5 times. Okay. All right.
So I've got 9 years to win it 4 more times.
4 more times. Yeah, that's possible, right? It's all in the mind. That's possible.
Possible. Yeah, I think it might happen. I think this is gonna happen.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, like
Yep.
I've got 9 years to go 4 more times. I'm super excited about it, and I know my license plate's gonna say 5-time champ.
Yeah, nice. So let's talk a little bit about we're gonna talk a little bit about your meal plan and your workouts. Just a little bit, when you are in season. When you are in season, just a little bit. Just talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so well, my meal plan's designed for 6 meals a day.
Okay.
Over the years, what's been fun is the more muscle I've put on me, the more I can eat. So that's been a lot of fun. And I'm at the highest calories in off season that I've ever been on, um, because of the consistency in the gym and continuing to lift weights and follow a plan. When I'm in off season, I still follow 6 meals a day. Everything's regimented. I eat there. All those meals are planned out, and the macros are planned out. I wouldn't do it any differently because the way my body feels, and we really had some big growth my body when we changed my off season to be just as regimented as on. There really is no difference. It's just a lifestyle. Now if I was in off season, could I go on a trip and like to Vegas and have a little fun? 100%. But I am 90% or more on all the time.
Okay.
So I can take those trips and it doesn't jeopardize my training, or it doesn't derail me in my body. And people ask me all the time, like, how do you do that? Doesn't that get exhausting? Well, no, because it's been so habitual now that I wouldn't like it any other way.
Okay.
And if I go on a trip, I start to get a little irritable now. Like, I need to get back to my regimen because that's my happy place. And it's easy. So
Yep.
now it's a lot easier to wake up at 5 and have my 5 meals prepped and ready to go by 5:30 in the morning, and I'm eating my first meal by 6. I mean, it's easy and it's wonderful. And then I don't need all that other crap to
Yeah.
get my way. But when you get results like these kind of results, like I said, for my age, I feel limitless in my conditioning. And so when you get those kind of results because you've stuck to the plan and you've stayed in, that it really does make it a lot easier because it's becoming habitual.
Yep.
But habits take some time.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, they take time, and I still deal with wanting to go to happy hour and have a big giant beer with some chips. So it's a lot easier for me just to stay on task and stay in my bubble because it's my happy place. It's easier.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
But I mean, we all want to be a little lazy,
Yeah.
But now being lazy is more about sitting with my feet up watching Netflix instead of going in the bar and eating like crap.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. That's a very nice substitute for sure. Um,
But we also have learned, especially at my age, as a competitor, your off season better be in check. We kept me 10 pounds lighter this off season on purpose because I'm older. I'm an older competitor, and we realized that my skin just wasn't going to tighten up the way that the young buck skin tightens,
mhm.
so that became a mission, and I nailed it this off season.
Okay.
I'll start prep here soon, and I absolutely nailed it this year because I saw that as lean as I stayed in my off season last time at 15% body fat, let's say for the off season, it wasn't lean enough. I learned that keeping me more at 10% body fat and keeping my weight down, and I live happy and thriving, sleep good, everything else. I think it's such a myth out there that women need to be 20% body fat to be healthy, or 25, things like that. It's all individual, and it takes some practice and some work to do it.
Okay.
But I enjoy it. I love staying leaner. My prep will go easier for me,
Yep.
and I look badass good.
Yeah. Yeah. You
I
look super badass for sure. Yep.
I
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
I
So
don't mind vanity and a
yeah. So while we are on this topic, can you tell us how you regulate your hormones during your prep.
Well, the some wild news is I'm in menopause.
Wild
So,
news, huh?
right? So I'm like, if I didn't eat great and I didn't eat good and I didn't exercise, I think menopause would put any woman over the edge. I mean, geez, this is mean shit. So I just really appreciate more than ever now that I have learned how to eat right and I've learned some discipline, because I think this transition in a woman's life is tough, and it's, all I ever heard from women is they used it as an excuse for weight gain, and that's a bunch of bullshit. And so I'm like, no, it's just it's going to help with my spirit, with my mood and things like that. And staying lean actually for me makes me feel even better. That's what keeps my hormones in balance,
Yeah.
is just being in really good shape. Anytime I've been overweight or anything like that, that's when I felt like I was falling apart and the hormones were out of whack. So they say all these kind of things, unbalanced. I don't know. The leaner I am, the more balanced my hormones get. So, it's what works for me. Everyone's so different, but I
Yeah.
guarantee if they take the chemicals out of their diet and things, their body's gonna respond a lot better. We're part of nature. It's just you got to feed us right.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. All right.
Hmm.
All right. Very good information. Yeah, and I know a lot of the ladies out there. Some people kind of get doesn't compete because of their hormonal changes, and they can't handle
Oh
it. Maybe because they were coaching themselves through it, or maybe they didn't have a good coach, you know, to
yeah.
help them through
Oh
that. So
yeah. A lot of them, I think what happens is when you hit the after the show and you want to go eat and have a little fun, well, the science of the body, I mean, I think you need to get a little more educated on your body,
yep,
because yeah, we can go have a little bit of fun, but that body wants that fat. And it's you've been in a caloric deficit for a long time, and you need to introduce that food back in slowly, and that's called a
yep,
reverse diet. And
yep,
that is just the reverse diet is very, very difficult because you feel like you want to be done, and you you absolutely have to reverse diet. You have to introduce all that food back in slowly, or we'll become the yo-yo dieters. And that's why you meet how many people, boy, I lost 50 pounds, and then I felt good. I went and put my skinny jeans on and went out and partied and did all this stuff because I was feeling so good. And then why did I gain 60 back? Well, because your body was in a was going to hang on to whatever you fed it because you were so-called starving. But um, I have learned the hard way about reverse diet, and I think that people, and especially women, they feel like, well, we need to get our bodies back to a certain body fat so our hormones balance out. Well, I don't think adding a bunch of fat back on your body is what's going to balance out your hormones. That's just not how it works. Um, but like I said, everyone is different, and a lot of people don't feel strong, don't feel, usually it's the men that they if they lose a bunch of weight, fat, well then they don't feel as big, things like that. But as far as for my body, the smartest thing I ever have done is reverse diet out of competition, and this time stayed a lot leaner than I've ever stayed. And my body now over time has felt incredible, and my lifts are crazy good. They're still getting, I'm still getting tons of progress in the weight room, and I'm only 10% body fat. So, with my body, and plus I do think it takes practice. It takes time
yep,
and building more muscle so you can stay leaner.
yeah, yeah.
But
It does.
I don't want fat weight, confusing my mind on how much I can lift just because I'm fatter. I just I don't need that. And so that takes a lot of practice. It takes an expert, and like Aaron Callister doing my diet is my expert. And I'm just following what he's told me works. And, if you follow the plan, and you have a lot of trust and value in that plan, it works. It really can work, and it has worked for me. So I see it all the time on social media. I see the ladies get done with competition, and then they start to gain, they put on 15, 20 pounds in a couple of weeks. Well, then they start bashing the sport. And I don't like that. I don't like it at all, because that's not what did it. The sport didn't do that. That was just uneducated, not understanding the body, and not getting the proper coaching or information, and continuing with that discipline.
Okay.
Continuing with a proper way to get that body out of that state.
Okay. All right. So this has been very, very informative. I really want to thank you for coming on here. You've shared so many interesting things about being an entrepreneur and also being a bodybuilder, and I want to thank you very much for that. So before you leave us though, can you give us 3 top tips, advice that we should live with?
3 top tips of what?
Or advice we should live with, yeah.
In bodybuilding?
In general.
Oh, in general.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Well, when we talk about the mind, body, and soul, right? I think I think we need to work on our mind all the time.
Okay.
All the time, whether it be therapy, counseling, self-help books, spending time with others that have achieved things. Success leaves clues. So spending time with others that have achieved great things, learn from them, talk to them, open up, really put your mind on your future of yourself, and the body will follow. Training that body, giving it love that it deserves, and feeling that energy. And the body is so capable of all the wonderful endorphins if you move it to motivate us. It doesn't need synthetic means pumped in to give us energy, and we provide it. So there's your mind and your body. The soul seems to come in when you find peace. Wherever you find peace, I believe that's where your soul starts to get a lot happier. And that is a very difficult thing to experience and go through, because sometimes it's letting go. Change is hard. And sometimes you have to do those things in order to find your peace. And sometimes it doesn't make sense to anybody but you. And you have to find some sort of confidence in you that has self-worth to believe that that it's okay. That it's okay to make your own decisions and have your own path that nobody else understands. Because sooner or later they're gonna join in if they see your love and your passion, and they see and feel it, your purpose. People will stand beside you.
Right.
You won't be alone forever.
All right. Okay, thank you very much for sharing. And for everyone watching, I want to thank you very much for coming on this podcast, listening to Donita talk about a life journey, fitness journey, and also giving some tips and advice, to live by. So, Donita, thank you very much. And again, my show is coming on very soon, November. It's November, I say very soon because November comes just like that,
Yeah.
So, please.
Your show, I have a question. Your show is amateurs.
Yes.
Only,
Yes.
Right? Awesome.
Yes.
So it's an amazing, awesome opportunity for amateurs.
Yep.
To go for their pro card.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
And it's in a warm, beautiful state where Minnesota really bites in November. So we'll see what we can do about getting a team there.
Yep.
But I encourage everyone from Minnesota to get on that plane in November.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And go see your home.
Yep. Of course. All right then. All right. Thank you, everyone, and please check out Donita. Instagram page is right over there. So email her, message her, and she will get back to you. You know, that's her fitness company right over there. So check her out. You know, she's amazing, down to earth, and super, super respectful. So don't forget that. Okay. All right. Thank you all, and see you on our next podcast.